Week 2 discussion. I wrote down some notes, so actually I wrote this out because I hate talking on camera. In chapters 2 and 3 of The Universe Next Door, we dive into how worldviews shape the way people see reality. One part from chapter 2 that really stood out to me was his description of naturalism, the idea that the universe is a closed system of cause and effect without any room for God or supernatural. Seems weird. What struck me here is how naturalism doesn't just influence science, but it also affects how people think about meaning and purpose. If everything can be reduced to physics and chemistry, then the big questions we naturally ask, like why am I here or what is good, become difficult, maybe even impossible to answer in a satisfying way. That raised a critical question for me. Can naturalism really give us a foundation for values and purpose, or does it end up leaving us with emptiness? Chapter 3 builds on this by exploring nihilism, which is described as the natural outgrowth of naturalism, where you follow into its logical end. Nihilism says that life ultimately has no meaning, that truth and mortality are illusions, and that human beings are just accidents of evolution. What I found especially interesting here is the contrast between what people say they believe and how they actually live. Very few people live as if nothing matters, even if their worldview implies it. We still care about justice, we still make moral judgments, and we still search for purpose. This tension reminded me of some video lessons I've seen about worldview conflicts in modern culture. People might argue intelligently that mortality is relative or subjective, but the moment they see injustice, whether it's politics, relationships, or even a social media post, they react as though fairness and truth are real and universal. That shows me that nihilism, while possible to claim in theory, is almost impossible to live out consistently. I've also thought about this from my own experiences. For example, when working with kids, I hear the phrase, "That's not fair," all the time. What's fascinating is that even young children are appealing to some deeper sense of right and wrong that suggests mortality isn't something we just make up. It's something we recognize. To me, this shows that nihilism doesn't really fit the lived reality of the human lifestyle. So these chapters challenged me to reflect on my own worldview. I am living consistently with what I claim to believe, or am I not? And does my worldview provide answers that hold up not just in theory, but also in daily life? That's the big takeaway from these chapters for me.